Hello, greetings, my friends. This is Gilles Mansillon. We said that the silence is gold and the words are silver. But I'm being asked and called to continue to communicate and speak, to break down that eternal silence and in order to express a few words. And I wanted to say that we're preparing ourselves for a great shift. For it's been announced and we've been saying, well, we're ready, and then it did not happen and it did not happen. But the calculation makes that we're actually officially entering into this golden age, which we already in fourth dimension on the planet, for those who are awakened, and we're moving towards fifth. On the 21st of December 2020, Jupiter is going to move into Aquarius, so that will mark a very, very powerful new beginning, an ending cycle of a cycle of 26,000 years. The precession of the equinox. It's been calculated that from all the ancient calendars, that everything will converge with the passing of Jupiter in Aquarius. For we are already in this new Earth, and we're getting ready for a grand cosmic events that will happen when it happens. For it's been announced a long time, but God only knows when it will happen, because God sees all things from the now perspective. When we're ready, it will happen. So it's good to prepare ourselves, to go outside, to drink in the new photon, to allow it to enter it through your finger, to let the light of the sun. There is new light code, the code within those photons. There is new activation code within our DNA that has never been experienced before. So we're really awakening in this very, very powerful way right now, and so we just want to follow the flow. I wanted to talk about this moon matrix, for the moon, for those the initiated, those who can believe a story beyond the common known story, is that the moon is not an artificial, is not a natural satellite of the Earth. It is an artificial intelligence that was created in Pleiades, on Orion, I think. I'm not really sure its origin, but eventually during the Galactic War it was captured and taken to Orion. So it must have been coming from Pleiades originally. And then at the end of the Galactic Wars, the Dark Forces were allowed to keep certain territory, and the Earth was part of what the Dark Forces could keep. And so they sent this satellite to go around the Earth to keep the emotional, intellectual level of humanity very low, so that they would not awaken. It was like a prison planet in some sorts. And so and there was all kinds of dark extraterrestrial forces that utilized the moon in the fourth dimension to keep the body of humanity in the lower frequency. But the Ascended Master, the collective of the Ascended Masters, are far more intelligent than those dark forces, and if they have not acted before, they didn't get authorization, but now they have been authorized by the company of heaven, the spiritual hierarchy, to take over the moon, and so to remove all the dark energies from the moon. And so they will progressively liberate the emotional body of humanity. They will work with nature spirits, also with elementals like dragons and unicorns and fairies and all kinds of specialized angels that are working with this energy. And so for the present, darkness is very, very important and essential for awakening humanity. If there was not such a darkness, people would continue business as usual. They would not see the necessity to change. They will not see the necessity to awaken. They will be within their comfort zone. But the tyranny is becoming so oppressive that people have no choice but to come out of their comfort zone and to say, well, this is enough. Eventually it's going to accumulate into this grand cosmic event. And so we'll be assisted by heaven. We can't really do that by ourselves, but our mission is to awaken, to align with the inner self, the God self, and then follow the direction from there. I wanted to speak about the idea of, in terms of romantic relationship, for we created as to pair up, it's the way God created us. But right now it's better. I say it's better to be alone than to commit to somebody in a long-term relationship that is not on the same alignment than we are. It is better to be alone and to wait for the right person to come along. I'm not saying you cannot have a love encounter or whatever. Love encounters, but to commit to a long-term relationship, it's unless it is you sense, you feel it is the right person for you for your life. then it's not a good idea. It's better to be alone than to do that. Also, when I say that the puppet masters have been removed, a lot of arrest, a lot of removal have been going on, and so but the matrix keeps going on independently of those puppet masters, the projectionists. But it's like a duck that is when they're losing the head, is going to continue to walk for a little while, but eventually it's going to collapse, and this is really what we see with society. And so also just an exercise I always recommend, that we go into the heart. For the heart it connects us to unconditional love and the love of the Creator and the universe of the Creator, and it's good to be focused in the seat of our consciousness, in the center of our brain. It is really where the power is, the power to envision, the power to travel, the power to fly. All those powers are unlocked within the brain, and the sun is reconnecting those new connections within our physical body with those new photons. But it's also very important to learn every day to go many times into the belly, into the stomach, into the abdomen, not the stomach but the abdomen, to go all the way between the first and second chakra, between the navel and the root of the spine, and find a comfortable position as if you were in a cup there, and then bring so that you can feel all the contrast and all the fear and the blockages. For a lot of this is happening between the first and second chakra, where the willpower comes from, where it manifests in the physical plane and the astral plane on the second chakra, and then so that it clears up our power center, the solar plexus. And so to spend some time in your abdomen is very good, and to rest there and to let your energy flow down to the center of the earth. It will anchor, it's creating anchoring. And so I'm going to pull a few cards with the Angel Tarot. I'm trying to remove a lot of things from my consciousness that no longer are necessary. Well, the oracles are actually not so bad. For the situation is wealth. It's inner and outer wealth. So it's like I still feel very vulnerable right now on that material level because of what I've been through. It's like I feel this trauma I need to heal. But I know there is a great deal of abundance that is coming. Also, as a general. There's going to be a great shift in the monetary system with Nessara, Gesara, Jubilee that will liberate the world from financial oppression. And so, but for now, we need to focus on our own abundance, focus on our own flow, and it's very important to let the flow of energy. And what we receive, we want to be wise with this. In utilizing our resources as well, but. To utilize this wisely, to use the heart to guide us. For sometimes we do not know, it's better to rely on the guidance once you can receive it, because the guidance is so precise, it knows so much more. Sometimes it allows us to do whatever we want to do, but and we can still do whatever we want to do, but it's better to be following this guidance. The guidance will want to free us, to bring us to salvation. Around this situation is optimism. It is optimism. It is we have to allow ourselves to feel that hope for this freedom, this financial freedom, this health, this creative abundance also, and this abundance of opportunities, and finding ourselves well in the world, so that we can assist humanity and the planet in those coming times. What we see before us is hesitation. There is still forces that are trying to mask this great opening, that is the forces that we've actually cultivated in the past through our lack of trust, through our fear, through our unconscious. So we want to let go of hesitation, and for if we hesitate, we want to meditate first and find the right direction. Although sometimes it's better to go in the wrong direction and learn a lesson from there, which will allow us to go back to the right place, than to sit and not do anything because we do not know. And so sometimes it's better to act And what we'll find is friendship, old friendship, new friendship. Friendship is very, very essential. Friendship, to be able to rely on your friends, and that your friends can rely on you. You don't want to have millions of friends, it's completely, or even thousands of friends. You want a few friends that you can rely on, that can rely on you, and that creates a solid bond. And that creates a solid support system as well. For in our subconscious, we have unity. It's called unity. It is we've realized that there is a tree of life, that is all life is one, and right now the situation is reconciliation. 61 is inner truth in the I Ching, so it's a reconciliation. We are being reconciled with our own life. Myself, I feel that, and very soon I'm going to be able to reconcile with my life plan. For now, I was like really shaken up. And what's coming up in the near future is patience. For we have to learn patience. We have to allow things to unfold. The more relaxed we are, the faster things will go. The slower we go, the faster the flow of energy will carry us. And so we do need patience. And sometimes we get a bit impatient. It's part of the conditioning we have on this planet. For God is not patient. He's an eternal being but for us, we have a limited time, and so we feel like sometimes we're wasting days when we only have like 28,000 days to live on this planet in any one incarnation at this time. So we want to utilize our time the best way we can. Our strength within the situation is hope, espoir, espérance. So it is hope. So we continue to cultivate that hope, that faith. What comes to us from the outside world is success. So there is a sense of success that is coming, this recognition of our work. What we have in our hopes and fears is humility. So we stay humble no matter what. Life has taught us that we have no reason to be arrogant. For anybody that's arrogant may be broken down. For a lot of people are still very arrogant with the limited power they have and abusing this power, but we don't want to blame them, we want to forgive them, but life will show them, eventually will teach them to align with the more simple unity and unity and respect. In a sense, because when you're abusing someone else, you disrespect the person and you disrespect yourself. So it's good to stay in respect of yourself and others, and sometimes it's good to stay serene, to elevate yourself above it all, and to allow people, even if they're completely wrong, there's time where you need to express yourself because you have the idea that will solve, that brings a solution to something. But in many cases, there is some people that are so wrong, so low in their perception but they're so sure of that their perception is the only one. So it's better to let them believe that they're right, not to say, well, I agree with you, but not to say anything if you don't agree, but rather than get into this drama argument trying to convince them, or if they're not allowed to let any new information comes in, it's better to allow them to believe whatever they need to believe. Life will reflect to them, and the outcome is trust. We're going to move into greater trust, more trust. The more we trust, the more trust in ourselves also. Trust in the world, trust in God, trust in spirit, and to utilize all those forces as one, and eventually, so that we can accelerate this path of ascension. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I'm going to sing a song and pull 4 cards with the Akash cards. It's a song that tells you that in 24 hours all can change. Here it is in a romantic context, but one day we can be transformed in one day. It goes like this. What a difference a day makes, 24 little hours brought the sun and the flowers where there used to be rain. My yesterday was blue, dear, today I'm part of you, dear. My lonely nights are through, dear, since you say you were mine. Lord, what a difference a day makes. There's a rainbow before me. Skies above can't be stormy. Since that moment of bliss, that thrilling kiss, it's heaven when you find romance on your menu. What a difference a day makes, and the difference is you. A jazzy song, and we pull forecast to conclude this this communication with the. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to retrieve all my cards, all my paintings, my clothes, my books, all my things. I'm really eager to put all this chapter behind me. So I pray. I spend most of my day praying and praying and praying in serenity and trying to relax myself. Well, we have exactly, I mixed the card, we have exactly the same wisdom that were given in the French reading. It's the same wisdom. It is Asia, it is Samadhi, it is to be in lucidity and serenity. For Spirit is telling me there's it's calling me to Japan, and well, there is also Brazil and many other places that are calling me, but or Thailand, or but here it is the wisdom of the Buddha. It is allowing ourselves. The Buddha works from the highest plane. He works from the enlightened state, and to free, to teach compassion and freedom, enlightenment. And so to stay serene and lucid, it is the highest wisdom to be able to do the meditation, to continue to cultivate those values. What we need to understand is also a card that came up in the first reading, is the figure of authority, for to let go of external authority. You want to be an authority on yourself. You want to be you want to allow yourself to make your own decision, not to make somebody else make their own decision. For we have to comply with the insane planes of what is going on in this world, for we have to comply because of the law, but there is a limit to that, which we for many things we need to regain our own, to think for ourselves and to regain our own authority over, and to know that once we connect to that inner love, inner light, inner guidance of the Spirit, we become an authority over all life. And for wisdom is very powerful. Once we achieve that connection to divine wisdom, we'll have a lot of power which will be expressed in gentleness, but it will be very powerful. So once we connect, and another card that came up is the same card that came up, although I mixed them. What we need to do is the vessels. It's about crossing the great waters, preparing for a great trip, going into adventures, navigating the sea, maybe. For I know I had a past life, I was an explorer. I spent many lives I spent on the sea, and so I love the boats, and maybe I will be able to do some navigation, but it's very much about the adventure, to be ready to move forward into new adventure. And the outcome is exactly the same card, the same outcome as we had in French. It's amazing, since I mixed all the cards. It is the farm, it is the ability to ground ourselves, to return to nature, to utilize more, to be able to feed ourselves and to feed the world as well. For there is a great consciousness, the awakening consciousness, that we need to reevaluate our system of farming and agriculture and all that, because we need to feed all the people, but we want to do it in a way that is more healthy. So not to go into the fast solution or the money is, but necessarily, but to find a balance where we can actually eat well and still allow all those who are providing that to have a good life as well, because they're very important. And so this farm is also the idea of returning to nature, as in Voltaire, the philosopher, he wrote those novels, one of them is called Candide, ou optimism. It's a story of somebody that goes around the world and tries to change the world. He goes through so many adventures. And at the end of the book, he returns home and he realizes we're far better off cultivating our own garden than traveling the world and trying to change it. And so there will be a return towards nature, and it's going to be the outcome and the connection to nature. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I thank you so very much for everything. I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.